What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Today we are working on the STI again. Yeah, we are just doing some Subaru things, but on a unmotor related note, we are working on the suspension. Don't mind that, that was for Paisley. Little spitty, just a little bit. So we have these rear lateral links that go on the bottom of the hub, and the sway bar end link attaches to them because, once again, for whatever reason, I don't know if you guys can see, it's broken another lateral link. So I hopped on the old Google and I grabbed a nice set of Voodoo 13. Nice. I had to break it. I had to break it before I even put it on. Anyways, we grabbed a nice set of Voodoo 13 rear lateral links. I'll turn you around. They got a beefier portion where the sway bar connects to, so I'm hoping that I don't ever have to deal with this problem again. It's kind of a pain in the butt to disconnect the sway bar end link, but is what it is. So these are what these lateral end links look like. As you can see, the portion the sway bar actually connects to is quite a bit thicker. And then you come over here and it's all, looks like a ball bearing. And then these are more or less shims just to space out the bearing and sit it right where it needs to be. And these are adjustable on the car. So you are not going to have to unbolt anything at all to adjust those. You just loosen the lock nuts and spin the lateral links body, and it'll extend or retract the body depending on which way you spin it. With that being said, we are also playing around with the front. We've got this really nice set of, I believe, Super Pro. Yep, Super Pro ball joints and our outer tie rods for our roll center correction. And this should help with bump steer. It should also help tighten up the front end a little bit because these ball joints and outer tie rods are pretty worn. I'll flip you around and you can see probably. So I'm gonna try to do my best, but that boot is tearing. And then our ball joint down here, it's not super bad, but definitely has seen brighter days. And we'll hop over to the other side as I can hear my old man knees cracking. And this side's more or less in the same condition. So I'm not thinking that this is going to be too hard. I've done a lateral link before, pretty easy. It's like 3 bolts. Adjusting it, getting it set properly is going to be a little more on the difficult, tedious side. But we will be getting an alignment tomorrow, as I have stated in other videos. Anytime you mess with suspension, go ahead, do yourself a favor, get an alignment. Or if you know that you're going to be doing all this, wait to get an alignment until you have it all done. P.S. I didn't listen, so now I'm back at square one. So we are going to start on the front. We're going to get these tie rod end links and ball joints off. I'm going to pull you right in here. As you can see, I can't. This nut right here that I am pointing to actually holds your ball joint in place other than the castle nut on the control arm. So we are going to loosen that. That should give us a little bit of play on the ball joint itself. Then we're going to loosen the castle nut. I'm going to show you this really nifty tool. It'll make your life so much easier if you ever do ball joints. This right here is a tuning fork or a ball joint fork. And you just set it between the ball joint and the control arm or whatever it's connected to. Give her a couple whacks and pops her right out. I've now got it in a position where I can access both the ball joint and the outer tie rod end. What I will do for the outer tie rod end to eyeball the alignment just to get me down to the shop is put a white paint marker mark on the threads. That way I know approximately where it was sitting before I took everything apart. So I have now broken this loose. Try and get you to focus. I'm going to be really quiet and hopefully you guys can hear how bad this is. that is the boot itself popping loose, cracking around, and doing old nasty stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead, pull that off. It's been super easy so far. I used a 3/4 inch crescent to break the tie rod end link loose, a 14 to get the ball joint, retainer, bolt, whatever you want to call it, loose as well, and then a 19mm socket to break the castle nut right there on the tie rod end. So we now have one side done. New ball joint, a new outer tie rod. These are what came out. As you can see, less than ideal. That coloring in the grease there is from moisture and water over time. Garbage.
She's sleeping. Not yet. Let's see something sad. Wait for it. Ew.
Oh.
Just kidding. She's actually going out now.
As far as difficulty goes for the ball joints, probably about a 4.5, 5 out of 10. If you have one of these, a pry bar, and a little butane torch, that also helps a lot, especially that pry bar. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this other side done, and we can move on to the rears, which is what I'm most excited for. The adjustable lateral links, I think is pretty cool. Anyways, I'm trying to be a little bit quieter now that Paisley is asleep. Nice.
Shoot.
So, if you're working on these, you get this little cone here. It's more or less a spacer or a bushing that goes on the bottom of your ball joint, and then it goes into the control arm, and this just keeps it center and keeps it from wearing out the rest of the control arm. So, come over here, I had to use the tuning fork to pop this off, but it sits on just like so, and that's about all it does. But it's important that you swap these over, or you will tear up your control arms and your brand new ball joints, and you'll have a very, very bad day.
Use a monkey. So,
I was just explaining to her how tie rods work and how you can adjust them while they're still bolted to the vehicle, even though they're still bolted to the vehicle. So you have 3 parts to this. You have your inner tie rod, you have your locking nut, and then you have your outer tie rod. So with the locking nut and the inner tie rod, while this is bolted up, you can use the hex on the inside to adjust where that outer tie rod is going to sit. So if your steering wheel is crooked, you can adjust them one way or the other to compensate for the difference, and it straightens out your wheel.
fancy.
Is that how many you've done on your phone?
Yep.
Oh, are you filming?
Mm-hmm.
Hey. Just kidding.
You're dumb.
All right. So, we've got these on. I didn't show you how to do that because I've done it before in a previous video. Pretty simple. 3 bolts, sway bar end link. Then you have the one that connects to the hub. And then you have the one that goes right by the diff. It's kind of, I think, your toe adjustment. I'm not 100% sure, so don't hold me to that. We will get this aligned, and then I will let you know how well it rides. If you'd like to, you can come take a closer look. If not, that's cool too. Whatever you guys want to do. Look pretty nice. I'm pretty sure I mentioned these are by Voodoo 13. They make a lot of parts for drift cars. They do only make lateral links for the Subaru STIs. And that's about all they make for the STI, is the rear lateral links. But that should definitely hold up better with the beefier sway bar that's on here, and should hopefully not break any more of those lateral links. At least that's what I'm hoping.
I'm just looking. It's just my face, guys. It's just
Retarded.
my face. Anyways.
Any user.
So, Austin and I were thinking of trying a new thing where Austin always tells me his silly little fun facts about cars while he's working on the car, but you guys never get to hear them. So, told Austin that he needs to start telling you guys his little fun facts about cars and like the more or less useless knowledge that he knows.
What the hell?
Nah, I'm just kidding. But seriously, they're some fun facts, so we're gonna give it a try. See what you guys think. Let us know.
Hey, why don't you tell the people what you're thinking? What's going on? See, I got the hiccups. So it has now been a week with the setup, and I'm going to kind of walk you through. Well, I like it. It's a lot better than before. I'm going to take you outside. I'm going to hop under the car, kind of show you what you've already seen. But just a little update. So, ball joints have been amazing. It rattles a lot less. It handles a lot better. Like I said, it was going to tighten things up, and that it did. On the rear end, the Voodoo 13 adjustable lateral links. They have been great so far. No more knocking or clicking in the rear end. Probably mostly due to the fact that, you know, they're not broken anymore. Can't really see that one because, oh, there we go. So everything is still nice and tight and adjusted. We have a proper alignment now that we are able to get within factory specs, which is great. Means reduced tire wear, and it feels so much more sturdy now that you know, the suspension's doing what it's supposed to be doing, which you think would be a no-brainer. But if you guys are in the market, I will leave a link to Voodoo 13's lateral links in the description below, along with the Super Pro ball joints and outer tie rods. If you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you next time. Peace.